Hello and welcome back to the cottage. This is the last video in this series, and we're going to, in this series, talk about how to export all the plans that you've drawn up to like a PDF or a large format printer or something like that to actually create blueprints. So what we're actually doing is skipping basically. So I've been following for the most part the X12 tutorial guide, which I have in hard form right here. It's big, but there's also a PDF that's linked in the Canvas course page. I'm actually skipping all these chapters. So there's chapters on cabinets, how to lay out cabinets, appliances and fixtures, electrical, how to set up framing. This is all pretty important stuff if you're gonna get into really detailed stuff about like how you're gonna do end framing, how you're gonna do like stud walls, joists, headers above doors and windows and things like that, roof and ceiling framing. And then it also has stuff about like site plans, terrain elevation, how to add driveways, all that stuff. And all that stuff, the landscaping stuff, you're free to play with and tweak to your heart's content. I'm not going to require it for the purposes of this assignment, but it is good stuff to go through. And the tutorial guide does take you step by step through these processes. But for our purposes, we're going to talk just about page templates and layouts. So here's the cottage as it is. And there's one thing that we haven't really drawn a whole lot of attention to yet, and that's this up here. Is the different kinds of plan views. Like the working plan view is the one we played with at first, and it just has all of the different kinds of walls that we have described in our plan. Electrical plan, floor plan dimensioned is the one that we want to use for what we're going to do now. This doesn't have all the dimensions. You can do more. You can do more automatic dimensions to get like wall thicknesses and things like that. But for our purposes, for this assignment, we're just going to do this kind of the quick and dirty way. And then for your personal projects and like more professional projects, you'll want to make sure that all dimensions are included. So, for example, if I went to the working plan view and went to CAD and told it to generate all automatic dimensions, you might get something like this, which is going to show everything, all the dimensions for all the windows and things like that. But for our purposes, we're just going to play with this one because it's a little bit more simple. Well, I guess it does have all of them. We have to do that on both floors because the second floor doesn't have any dimensions. So we'll just go ahead and add our automatic exterior dimensions there as well. One thing I didn't add on up here is windows, which we probably should have at some point. But again, we're just trying to kind of get a rough idea of how this software works rather than go into it in a really in-depth way, like you would for a more professional project. So here we are. This is it. The thing to know about doing layouts and blueprints is that you are actually going to be creating these in another file, and that other file has to be open. So you go up into File, and notice that there's two different things that you can create. You can create a new plan, or you can create a new layout. And a layout is a printable document that looks nice, and it has presentation, and would be suitable for printing. Let's turn off my grid lines. I don't know why they were on. So let's open a layout, a new layout, and notice it has like your headings here. It has slots for revisions, titles, all sorts of things like dates and page numbers and things like that. And you can put your personal information in here, and then of course you can fill this in right here. The one thing we are going to do, so in the project browser, up on the top here, if this isn't open, you can go into View and then turn on Project Browser. You'll see that we now have the cottage open, the .plan file, and all of the objects that are associated with it, all of its floors, all of its plan views, and things like that. But here we have our layout. So let's save our layout as a file. So I'm going to hit Save As. I'm going to call it cottage.layout, cottage. And it has a series of pages. And page 0 is a page template. And you can edit it, and if you edit it, it will cascade affect all of the pages that use that template. So so if I made a change to the page 0 template here, it would update anything on here that's using that template. So like to add another page, I would right click on the page 1 and then say insert page after, and this is now page 2. So page 0 is the page template, page 1 is the project overview, or actually going to be labeled P1. On this one, now I'm going to go into this one and edit it. So this is the stuff that's kind of auto-generated. If I hit edit page information, you'll notice it says selected page, page 1, label, page dash hash mark. That is what will that if you create a pattern, like if you you can kind of create a pattern before this dash. So if I make this an A, or in this case, I'm just gonna keep up to this P. Anytime you change this, you P dash hash mark. Anything else that has P dash hash mark will get a number. And so, for example, let's say this is going to be floor 1 plan, and this is going to use the regular page template, and we'll hit OK. And so that's floor 1 plan. Let's look at page 2. Edit that one. It's using the same page template. We'll say P dash hash mark, and we'll say this is the floor 2 plan, and hit OK. And notice this one now says, if I open this one, it says P-2. It automatically updates that P-hash mark to be the page number that we want. If I started over with some other marker, like if I said A, it would be A, and I did A-hash, that would start over as, well, let's just demonstrate it real quick here because it's not hard. Let's insert another page after, because we're going to do an elevation page anyway. Let's say if we edit this one and said A-hash and said elevation, and hit OK, then it's A-1. So, and if I did P-hash, then it would be P-3. See how it works? It kind of like, as long as you set a convention and use those hash marks, it'll automatically fill in the page number, so you don't have to, which is really, really convenient if you stop to kind of like consider the ramifications of that. So let's go over here. You end up with some objects like this page title. To edit these, to add new like rich text objects, you can go up here. So let's just, you'll have this one that has page title, and I'll just open that object to edit it, and we'll say this is floor 1, and then hit OK. Let's do the same thing on floor 2. Let's open that and add a rich text object here, and we'll call it floor 2. But so now we have to, whoops, like you gotta kind of click out of it. So we'll go into that and edit it. We'll make this maybe a little bit bigger, maybe like 1/4 inch. Make the text a little bit bigger. We'll center it. We'll hit OK, and then we'll rotate it. So you grab this little triangle handle, and you can rotate it up and then kind of resize it to fit in this box, and maybe bring it down just a little bit. So that's floor 2. So we got floor 1, floor 2. It's not the same font. I don't know. I don't know completely what's different there, but you could also do a copy and paste in place. You could take this guy, and then copy it, and then on page 2, hit paste, hold position, and then just change the number on the other one. So that way you can maybe have the exact same fonts and stuff. 2. Okay. So there we go. Floor 1, floor 2. So let's, and then the elevation. So let's actually do that. Let's add in, because this video is going to get a little bit long if I don't start speeding it up. So let's take, we want this floor 1 elevation. So this is our floor plan view dimensioned in our cottage. So this is the layout, and this is the actual plan. And so we'll select our floor 1 plan here. That's page 1. So you go up here to File, and you go Send to Layout. And you say, okay, well, what page does it want to go to? So you got to choose which layout file you want. Well, I want that cottage layout file. It's already open, so it'll automatically select it. We want this to go to page 1. Page 1. we want the entire plan view. We want this entire view to be the dimension layout for floor 1. We want to link it, and so that it'll automatically kind of update, and then we'll hit OK. And there it is. It appeared in the plan, and this is what would print if we ran this through some large format printer. Whoops. Resizing it doesn't work because it doesn't export it as an image, it exports it as a plan. So you have to set kind of the scale as you're exporting it. So let's look at floor plan, page 2. Let's go up a floor, up 1 floor to floor 2. We'll hit send to layout, and we'll say entire plan view, and we want that one to go to page 2, yes, and everything else should be good, and hit OK, and there it is. So when we have floor plan 1, floor 1 plan, floor 2 plan, and now we'll do some elevation. So in here, the best way to do an elevation is in our 3D tools, we want to create an orthographic view. And this is where we use our cross-section / elevation. And let's just quickly do 4 of them. So I'm going to just drag and drop outside the building. So I used the cross-section tool and drag from down here up just a little bit. And that creates that flat view of the front of the building. And so how we're going to do this is let's add some dimensions. Let's go CAD, automatic dimensions, auto elevation dimensions. I don't think we need all these, so I'm going to delete some of these horizontal ones and just keep maybe some of the more important vertical ones. And now, again, we'll go File, Send to Layout, and we're going to send this to page 3, the entire thing, and we're going to hit OK. So now it appears here. We actually don't need it to take up the entire space. We can actually put all of our elevations on one page. And so I'm kind of selecting it and then moving it over and then up. You can only move it in one direction at a time for some reason. So you can move it over and then up so that it fills like the top right corner. Then we'll go over here. We'll create another cross-section elevation on the side. And we'll add some dimensions to that. CAD, automatic dimensions. And then I'm not taking all these. I'm just going to do, some of the more important ones. There we go. And then once again, we'll send it to layout, page 3, and then hit OK. And then once again, we'll drag down and over. And then I'm going to do the other 2, and I'm going to do them off screen. So there we have our elevations. And I think you can change these. Maybe you can change this text. Maybe you can't. I don't know. I feel like there should be a way to change this text, but maybe if we open this, you can change the label. Specify a label. Yeah, there we go. So this is front. And then you can do that at your leisure. You can do rename these things by opening them as an object, kind of like you would in any other object in Chief Architect. And then instead of having an automatic label, you can just specify it as north side, east side, south side, whatever. I'm putting front, I don't know, I think it's maybe the south side of the building or something. So there you can get all 4 of your elevations, and you can get as detailed as you want with these. Any plan that you think is necessary or important for the project, you can create a layout for. Let's do something kind of fun, and let's look at this page template here and add another page after. And this one, we're going to edit information. We're going to use this one as a page template, and we're going to call it cover page template. And hit OK. So this is now a template, and so we can create a new page that will actually be a cover page. So we'll have it right underneath here. So floor plan 1, floor plan 2, elevations. So this is going to be our cover page. So we'll edit page information. We'll actually call it C-hash, I don't know, cover page. And, and then we have to edit page information, and we'll use the cover page template, the page 1 cover template as the template for this. So it's blank right now, so we'll go into that template, or we'll go into the page template, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something kind of weird. I'm going to select this outer border
and this outer border, because I don't want to have to redraw them, hit edit copy, go into the cover page template, and then hit edit, paste, and paste hold position. And then those two border lines are there. So I don't want to redraw them. I'm going to select this side, resize it out to about there. Whoop, no, that was too close. That made it the same. There we go. So I got a double border line there, which is cool. So one thing you can do for like a cover page is do like, let's do file, let's import an image. In my I'll import a picture here. In my pictures folder, I have a Leech Lake Tribal College logo. We'll import that, and we'll make it smaller. And actually, what you can do is you can kind of get it positioned, and then you can do the old open the object, and then redefine it. Its dimensions. Say I want it to be 3 inches by 3 inches. And then hit OK. If you need this, if you want this image, you can use your own image. I don't really have any particular preference. And then we can tuck it down in the corner here. Remember, you can only move it in one direction at a time, which is actually kind of nice that it constrains it like that. So I stuck it down in the corner. We're going to move it over and then up a little bit using the arrow keys so it's not too close in there. Next, let's add a line. We'll grab the line tool here. We're going to draw a line straight across, just as a kind of border. Snap to it. Oh, whatever. So we have a line that kind of creates a little border, and then what you could do is draw in like a text box here that has, you know, some information. Like I'm gonna put Leech Lake Tribal College here, and then I don't know 6945 Little Drive, I think is our address. And then it's in Cass Lake, Minnesota 56633. Is that what it is? I can't remember. And then maybe a phone number 123.456.1212, something like that. Some kind of phone number thing. And then we can go in. Deleted it. Hang on. With it open, I can go ahead and open it and do stuff like, let's make this like I don't know. A 1/4 inch, and then so that's a little bit bigger. And then on the other side, you could say what this plan is. Like we can create a new text box, a new rich text box right here, and then go in here and say, okay, this is the cottage, Smith residence. And then maybe the address of it, you know, 147 Chickadee Lane, something like that. Walker. So I don't know wherever. I don't know what Walker's zip code is. So you can add that information in another text box here. So you can kind of lay this out how you want, just so that it makes it obvious what each information is. And then here's kind of the fun part. Is let's take a 3D view of the entire house and stick it on that layout, which is kind of a neat thing to do. So we'll grab our camera tool. We'll do the full camera. We'll do kind of from this angle, I think is maybe its most flattering angle. Kind of position our camera the way we like, maybe like that. And then with that like position like this, what we can do is we hit File, Send to Layout, and we want to go to page 2, which is our cover page. And we want to just take the current screen as an image and hit OK. And boom, it appears in there. And we can, I got the rich text tool, there we go, select tool. And then we can resize it, kind of, where is the move? There we go. So we can get it inside there, tuck that up into the corner. Try to resize it from the corners, don't drag from the sides because that can warp the image a little bit. And there you can do stuff like, yeah, so there we can have a picture of the house as the cover page. The last thing I think we'll add to this is we'll go up into Tools, and you go to Layout, and you can go down to Add a Layout Page Table, and we'll just plop it down right here. And this actually gives you a table of contents for your whole document. So we're going to edit this. So open object. We're going to just remove the description and the comment. We just want the label and the title for each page, and then hit OK. And then maybe have it right here. And this is our little page index. And there we have it. What you would end up doing now, when you have your whole kind of document created, is you can print it. You can create it as a PDF. Print it off on 8.5 by 11 paper, or you can actually blow it up and send it to a large format printer to be printed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, instead of trying to print it, I'm just going to export it as a PDF. And if it's not printing in color, there's a little checkbox here to print in color, and so you can see the 4 pages of my plan. And obviously a regular full-scale architectural drawing might have electrical diagrams, it might have HVAC drawings, it might have all sorts of different other things that you might have in a full set of plans, but it might not either. You could just have your framing, and just have your framing, your floor layouts for building this house. And then save it as a PDF. And I'm going to call it cottage.pdf. Save. And so that will create the file that we want. So where is it? Cottage. Well, it actually opened up in my Adobe Acrobat right here. And there it is. So this is basically, you can re-export it if you don't like I really should change the font sizes down here. Notice it does have a watermark. Academic version, not for construction documents. So it will give you a watermark, which is fine, if you're using the academic version. So you're not necessarily supposed to. I think we can get away with it if we're building these buildings for academic purposes. So anyway, that's it for this tutorial. This one got a little bit long, but I hope you got something out of it. And I hope you see the potential for places you can take this layout tool, because you can create plans for all sorts of different aspects of building a house. You can add in bills of materials, different other schedules that you might have. So if I go into, is it under, where are the schedules? Oh, there they are, schedules. So here we can get all of our different schedules, wall framing schedules, and then other, materials list. You can calculate your materials for the entire project as a whole, and then you can add that to a layout. So you really, the options are pretty limitless, and I hope that you can get something out of this, and we'll see you next time.